Okay, this is going to be a video review of this MOKiN hub here. We're going to do some testing of all the ports. I'll show you all the ports on here. We'll do some speed testing to make sure that you're not losing too much in terms of transfer speed. It's designed specifically for your MacBook Pro, so let's have a look and see exactly what you get in here. So this is the hub itself. I've had a few of these MOKiN hubs. I've reviewed loads of hubs. And the MOKiN ones tend to be pretty decent. This one's no different. It's a nice aluminium construction. Will match up nicely to the side of your MacBook, just like that. Quite often some of these have one usable and one dummy plug, which isn't a very efficient way of doing things. So I'm going to be testing each of these separately to make sure that they are both doing a job, basically. Because if you have one port as a dummy and one port doing all the work, yeah, it's a total waste. So just run you through the ports you get on it. HDMI, power delivery, so that's your power into your MacBook. That is your output. That is the Thunderbolt port just there. That's almost like a pass-through directly there. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of these just going straight to there as a straight pass-through, and the other one dealing with the other parts of this, which then really is a very basic USB 3 5 gigabits a second hub, card reader there for SD and micro SD, and of course the video out there for HDMI. Let's do some testing. Okay, so I am now testing the SD card reader here. We're going to just test the speed of it, and I am testing each of the two USB-C plugs that are on there separately, and it is looking like that second plug is dealing with all the data, not just the USB 3 and card reader, but also the Thunderbolt as well. Anyway, here's the micro SD card speed. If it's a good card reader, it'll be in the 90s. If it's an average card reader, it'll be in the 30s. If it's a poor card reader, it'll be in the 20s. It's in the 90s, which means they've included a very decent card reader on there. So no problems there. It's past that first test. Let's now test the USB 3 speed. So we're now testing the USB 3 ports. They should be 5 gigabits a second, so expecting about 460-ish. There you go, 463. So again, these ports are working absolutely fine, as you'd expect. So although a lot is being dealt with that Thunderbolt port, it is dealing with it quite okay. Let's test out this data speed of that Thunderbolt port. Now, I only have a 10 gigabits a second SSD, so I can't go up to the full 40 gigabits a second, but we will test to see whether or not 10 gigabits a second is handled properly. Let's see how it works. Okay, so this is the Thunderbolt port, so we're expecting much faster speeds here. For a 10 gigabits a second SSD, probably around about 1,000 megabytes a second, 1,030, 40 maybe. And that suggests it's USB 3 speeds. Okay, so I might have to do a little bit of testing separately because obviously it's not 100% fair to do this just one port at a time. Okay, so there's been a little bit of a mix-up here. And this is now the Thunderbolt port test. Let's see what we get. We're expecting 1,000 for the 10 gigabits a second. There you go. That's actually a very fast speed. That is identical pretty much to plugging it directly into the port without the hub involved. So there's very little data being lost there, as you'd expect with a good quality Thunderbolt port. But I'm going to explain what the problem was just now. Okay, so the issue was with labeling, and what I'm going to do is, I don't know if it comes through very clearly on the camera, but you've got two ports here, both kind of labeled strangely, because neither of them actually has the Thunderbolt symbol on it. If you remember, the Thunderbolt symbol is like a lightning strike with an arrow at the bottom. That is a basic lightning strike, which is often used just for power delivery. That is a symbol which is often used for data. Now, I assumed that, okay, well, that one there will be the Thunderbolt ports that we're using. I'll have to take responsibility for that because it's not that one, it's that one. And it makes sense. Obviously, I was, too familiar with that symbol being used very frequently for power delivery, and with it not being an actual Thunderbolt symbol and with it just being a lightning symbol, which is the exact power delivery symbol, I jumped the gun a little bit. It's probably as you might have expected here. This just controls this area here. This is a straight pass through to here. Okay, but by having it like this, it attaches nicely to your MacBook. So conclusions, it's a well-made hub. Speed tests, absolutely check out. No problems there. It's great. Nothing wrong with it. It's fairly reasonably priced for a Mac compatible device. It's fairly competitively priced for a Mac compatible device. It's about £28 with a little voucher on as well, which I think for what you're getting, you know what, it makes up for any ports that you might feel you're missing out on. Okay, it gives you everything you've already got and a little bit more there and there. So yeah, it's worth it. It's a good quality hub.
To let you know when